Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the IWC Aquatimer Chronograph reference 3767-01. You can see this automatic winding date chronograph on our website, purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch, with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally full pricing details. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can tell two things. First, this is a modern, oversized sports reference. Second, it's a devilishly handsome timepiece. Now, the watch is 44 millimeters across the round of the case, not including the crown or the chronograph pushers. It's relatively thin, all things considered, given the scale of the case. 15.5 millimeters. The challenge with a tighter cuff isn't going to be the thickness so much as the outward cantilevered flange of the bezel. And then from lug to lug, this is where the watch really struts its stuff. 57 millimeters from lug to lug. This is a big timepiece across the wrist. So if you have a smaller wrist like mine, 16, 15 centimeters, this watch is going to sit securely, but you have to like the oversized watch look. If you like the look of a Royal Oak Offshore, if you like the look of a Panerai Luminor, you're going to like the look of this IWC Aquatimer, and down to about 15 centimeters, the watch will fit securely on the wrist. Now, it is remarkably meaty. Everything about this watch is substantial. It feels as though it were hewn from a single billet of steel, and that applies to the bracelet as well. Beautifully made with an H pattern. You can see that it features gorgeous contrasting finish, polished bevels, polished center links, satin outer links, and of course, incredibly substantial. It's paired with a beautiful single fold deployant, trigger actuated, and you can see even the interior of the clasp. The swing arms are engine turned. This is beautiful finish and incredible attention to detail by IWC. And of course, when closed, it maintains a much lower profile than most diving buckles. Compare this to something like a Rolex Oyster clasp, and you can see just how compact, low profile, slim, and elegant it is in its execution. Now, there are a couple of cool features here that deserve a shout out. First, the bracelet has beautiful channels between the links underneath. These channels ensure that it won't pinch skin, it won't pull hair. You can also see that there's a little dimple running down the center links. Each individual link can be removed using nothing more than 2 toothpicks, for example. So every single link can be removed for the most precise sizing possible, or should you want to tear down the entire bracelet and clean it, excruciatingly deep cleaning potential for the true enthusiast. Now, there's also a little bit of a gift from Cartier. The Aquatimer features a quick release lug such that when you pull this trigger, you release the actual bracelet and you can swap in straps, other bracelets. You can easily remove the bracelet again for cleaning should you desire, and that ability to rapidly swap between textile, metal, leather, rubber makes this a very versatile timepiece. So if you don't like the look of the bracelet, or you like to have the bracelet for the sake of retained value but you prefer a strap, this allows you to rapidly cycle between your favorite straps without having to resort to a jeweler or risking the finish by taking screwdrivers to your lugs. A smart, convenient, and thoughtful addition by IWC. Now, the rest of the watch is just as carefully thought out. You can see that the bezel, unidirectional winding of course, for diving purposes. It features a couple of cool refinements that I really dig. Let me show you something neat. Now, you can see how the minutes hand and the first 15 minutes of the bezel are both yellow. That's because they're a different color luminova. The entire bezel is lumed, so everything glows. And that because it's capped by a protective sapphire, so virtually scratch proof. It's going to wear long, durably, and it's going to remain handsome for the long term. This is a feature you only see on very upscale watches, and then only rarely. Watches like the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, this Aquatimer is definitely in that class in terms of materials quality. But the lume used for that sweep of yellow, as well as the minute hand, is a different color from the lume seen elsewhere on the watch, so you can easily distinguish the most important elements of your timing mechanism at a glance if you are using this as a backup dive instrument. Now, the dial itself is a matte black with contrasting subregisters for the chronograph functions. You can see minutes at 12 o'clock, hours at 6. You can also see that the watch features a discrete day date. Now, you do have a quick set function here such that you can rapidly cycle the day date. And of course, all of the hour indices are applied of high quality, fully polished and loomed. This is an easy watch to see in any lighting conditions. It definitely succeeds as a tool watch. Now, turning back to the case back, Screwed in, it conceals an IWC caliber 79320. Now that's a heavily modified value 7750, and I say heavily modified because IWC upgrades it to the chronometric standards of what would conventionally be called a chronometer. The watch easily attains those performance parameters, but it's vastly upgraded in more substantive ways than simple adjustment over the basic 7750. Train wheels, barrel, the regulator, balance, hairspring, all of these are of the highest quality. And moreover, while a conventional 7750 may have 25, 26, 27 joules depending on the source, this one actually features 31. Featuring a double quick set for the date, hacking seconds, so you pull the crown, you stop the balance, you can precisely synchronize. It also has a 120 meter water resistance, so an exceptional chronograph in every respect. It doesn't compromise its status as a dive watch in any way. You can see this handsome, versatile, and substantial IWC Aquatimer chronograph reference 376701. Fall in love with it on our website and take it home.